We are live in Texas. We're down here in Kerrville. Right over there is the Guadalupe River. That has been what's been making the news worldwide. Horrific flooding that has claimed many lives. There's still many, 100 plus missing. I am with Sam and Erica, and they are volunteers with American Corps, and they are teaming up with the American Legion Post 208 right here in Kerrville to help search and rescue. Folks, tell me, where are you from and what got you involved in this?
Yeah, so we're from San Antonio, Texas, and we decided to be able to come down today just to be able to see, kind of assess what was happening. We absolutely love Kerrville, and we brought a lot of family here. We really enjoyed just the community, and we could not believe the devastation that we saw just on the news. Just wanted to come down and see what was going on. I plan to stay here one day, and I now have been here 6 because of the support and kind of resources that are needed here. Just there's a massive need that's beyond the scale of what I thought it needed to be.
So Sam, so you've been out coordinating search and rescue. Erica, you're inside doing logistics and tech, I understand. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. When we got here, we kind of thought that things were going to be in place. There were going to be some systems that we could just plug into, and what we realized really fast is that when you have such a grand scale of a disaster, there's nothing that is in place to prepare and to deploy the help where it's needed. So I saw the need, and I call myself a gap filler. If I see the gap, I fill the need, and I just taught myself how to create Google Forms, feeding into Google spreadsheets to track volunteers, track the need, and then close the gap with volunteer to the need of the community. Just getting them supplies, getting first responders and anyone on the search and recovery teams, whatever equipment they need, because it's very harsh conditions out there, and they're really going through all of the equipment very, very fast.
So, Erica, I'm staying down in Hondo, which is about 60 miles away. It's about an hour drive from here.
My hometown.
It is, your hometown, okay. We did a road trip on there called Roads to Adventure on US 90, starting in Van Horn, Texas, but last year, and that's how I became familiar with Hondo. But so tell me, what has been the most meaningful thing for you so far with your involvement in this rescue effort?
The heart of Texas is coming out. You see the best in people, and even if they have nothing to give, they will spend their last dollar to get here and pour their heart and energy into the very, very dirty grunt work that it takes to go and comb the riverbed and cut through piles and piles of debris, and it's all volunteer basis, right? So of course you're a first responder, this is what you're supposed to be doing in times like these, but there's so many people that don't have to be here that are here. And like Sam said, we were going to be here for one day, and after Friday there's nothing more important than to be here, which is why we're still here.
Now Sam, you said one day, you're here for 6 and counting. You know, I guess one of the things that have been in the news is the kids camp upstream that got flooded.
Yeah.
A lot of kids lost their lives. What does that mean to you personally? Was that a motivator for you to come down here?
Yeah, just the support. Actually, in the San Antonio community, I help lead a group, Survivors of Loved Ones Suicides, and we really just we understand loss. Me personally, I've lost several people to suicide, including my little brother. And
sorry to hear that.
When families are left with unanswered questions and kind of them not knowing what happened to their loved ones, it's just kind of to fill in those gaps. There's kind of 2 things that happen here. Is the one from the search and recovery, being able to give closure to those families. That's really important for any of those kids, the mothers, the losses that they've had, the just devastation to families, and just the wondering why. And so that is something that is something that's really close to my heart, but then also just getting the support. The bigger you are, the slower you move. And so being fast, quick, nimble, on your feet, being able to get resources to where they need to go, Amazon driver style, there's a need, there's a list, we get the supplies, we send it to the house. So just being able to be very nimble, very quick, and get the support that's needed in the places that it is all along the river.
Speaking of support, if you'd like to give, there's a link here in this story that you can donate, and it's to AmericanCorps.org. They are putting every penny into the efforts that are taking place as we speak. And I was speaking to a gentleman just down the river just a little bit. His home got flooded. He was fortunate; he was not at home on the 4th. He was out of town visiting family. And there was a gentleman that came down with a backhoe and was helping dig out some stuff, and was telling how he was digging, and a hand appeared, and he had to let somebody know. They said just mark it and let the appropriate people come and do that. I have seen different ribbons along the river. Do you know what those ribbons are? Is that potentially a marked place where somebody is suspected or has been?
Are you talking about the green ribbons?
Different colors, yeah. I've seen red, I've seen green.
Okay.
Yeah, each process of the search and recovery teams is going to be different depending on kind of how they deploy and what the guidance is as far as the markers that the teams are using. But it potentially could be, but just a lot of times what we'll do to be able to support is go out there, be able to mark areas, just something that was discovered, mark areas, and then the law enforcement will come in to be able to just discover more of what that area entails. But that's kind of the extent of how we're supporting, is being able to do a lot of the boots on the ground, the grunt work, the tactical approach to searching.
Okay.
And then handing it off to
the authorities. Yeah.
So you've been basically searching for just anybody, any survivors, or anybody that's at this point. I suppose the hope for survivors is pretty slim, but recovery is what is in place right now, and that's what you've been doing is just going and searching in different areas. How much have you covered? How much territory?
So we have covered a lot of ground, but it's there. We literally will be cleaning up, trying to get everything back to normal for years from what I see. I mean, just the devastations here, the massive amount of river. A lot of times, like when there's a flood, usually it's within maybe a 50-mile radius, something like that, but it's like 150 miles that are needing to be covered. So just the amount of resources that are going to be needed to be able to get in there, do what needs to be done to be able to kind of get some bit of normalcy, whatever normal. It's the new normal. It's not something that's going to ever go back to normal, but just it's going to be the new normal for everybody. Just trying to try and clean up what we can and get closure for those families.
And I don't think it's going to be the same. We used to come to Kerrville all the time, swimming in the river, kayaking, and now I feel like it's a sacred place. I wouldn't want to be in the water anymore. I feel like we should be here, and
I'm sure it's very tough. I mean, that's yeah. When you go through something like this, things do change, and they don't necessarily return to normal. They return to something else, but not to the normal that it was. Sam, what about yourself? How do you think this will affect you in the years to come for yourself?
Yeah, personally? I think it's a very eye-opening experience as far as kind of what is needed to be able to support a community, what resources are needed. The biggest thing that just kind of tears me up on the drives home is being able to just the amount of gratitude and support. The people of Kerrville are absolutely amazing. From the businesses, from Home Depot to Discount Tire to whatever is needed to be able to help, and the jobs that nobody wants to do, just destroying equipment every day on that river, and just the support from the community has been absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Just the hearts of people that are really trying to serve. not having to do with anything with politics, but just people. You know, forget the politics, just serving people, the communities. There, we made a trip out to needing support, so we're able to provide that support very quickly, and just kind of going there, assessing needs. Everything is completely devastated at that property. The outside is just completely smells horrible. There's everything that is debris and everything that needs to be cleaned up. So we're going to end up sending support back. Not that anyone asked us to be able to do that, but just us being able to just serve in any capacity that we can, and just add the most value to the community in the support that we can show them.
I've seen people from Nebraska with search and rescue going up and down the street. Other states, where have you seen people coming from yourself here?
I know that we had somebody show up from Maryland. They were watching the news, and it was nonstop coverage, and they just got tired of seeing what was being broadcasted, and they just wanted to see it for themselves. So they just got in their car, drove down here, showed up, and volunteered an entire day, and felt like being fully immersed in the environment with the people. They kind of know why it's on the news all the time, because there's so much support that's needed here, resources, money, prayers, intentional focus, that we have it's okay to feel, because we're just having a human experience, and there's been a lot of lives that have been lost.
Is there any last things that you would like to leave the audience, folks, with about your experience through all of this? Let me ask real quick. You came down, so you got down here roughly about a week after the flood had taken place, and you said that you had heard from people and you knew the need. What were you thinking leading up to the point, about the flood down here before you actually came out? What were some of the thoughts that were going through your mind and that you were both discussing before you came here about this event?
I kept an open mind. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything, and when I got here, I don't know kind of what the environment would be, who the players were, what support was needed. So I kind of was just in investigation mode, seeing what was needed. And once I got here, I could never unsee what I saw, and it was absolutely incredible. There's a duality. So on one side, just the love, the support from the community, donations, people's hearts, and how they really are trying to serve Texans. I am so impressed with how much support is coming in from all over the country. So there's that I am very grateful for, just the humanity piece, and then there's the duality, which is the other part of just the loss, the recovery efforts, the hard work that's needed, the recovery, the blood, sweat, and tears, and just with the conditions of the river, just trying to recover whatever we can while we have the opportunity to be able to recover it, because it's forever changing. So I kind of kept an open mind, but there is definitely something to do in terms of volunteers. But honestly, if people can find whatever it is that you do, what you do best. You trying to explain it to someone is not something that maybe the community or certain individuals that are in volunteer positions are understanding what it is that you can provide to the community. You know that best. So what I would challenge anybody that wants to be able to come and volunteer, is go know what you know what you know how to do, and go find a need, and just from end to end process, go in and complete that process and help the families along the river, whatever it is. Like, just provide whatever support you can and plug in where you can, and you are the one that knows the best of what you do and what you can accomplish with the tools and the resources that you have. But we thank you for any support and everything that you've accomplished so far.
Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. Thank you, Erica. Appreciate it. Is there any final thing you'd like to say as well?
I just want to say that if you do come down, or if you want to participate from where you are, then find a community that is really in need and vet the organization. Make sure that those resources are getting to the people that need it most, And that's why we chose to partner with American Corps, because our values are aligned, they support the people that are impacted, and every penny goes into the efforts or back into the community.
And the founders are veterans, right? And so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And that's their focus. They're focused on American veterans, and there's a lot of that already in the community, and just their families. They're so much impacted. So we're just here to help however we can.
Well, thank you, Sam and Erica with American Corps.